So listening is an active process. We can be preoccupied with ourselves. If I'm not feeling well, if I have a headache, if I have a stomach ache, I won't listen. And some of us just don't know how to listen because we were never taught how. We're taught how to do all kinds of things, read and write and do math, do chemistry, but a lot of us have never been really taught how to listen. And so that's one of the reasons why we be able to listen. Okay. How did you do on your inventory? How many people got a superior? Anybody got a superior? It's really unusual if you do. Did anyone get above average? Wow, that's great. That's great. We won't go below that, okay? I don't want to embarrass anybody. But don't be upset if you got average or below average. Don't be upset because, like I said, a lot of us were never taught how to listen and we really don't understand what's involved in it. What I'd like you to do is turn over your score sheet. The score sheet should have a blank side on the back. And pick two things that had a low score for you, two questions that had a low score. And this goes on the back of your score sheet. In listening effectively to others, what I want to accomplish is there's two things that you scored low on that you know that you could work on to improve, to help you to listen to other people better. So you're going to be looking at your ones and twos scores, number ones and twos in each problem, and pick two of those. And just jot them down. These in your folders when you finish, and we'll give you just another minute or so.
Sheet, yeah. You know.
Help me, Joan. Angle toward me, please. Can I see your papers?
Papers. Very good.
What I'd like you to do now is, as soon as you're finished, find someone from another group and find a partner. We need people and partners, and then just turn your chairs so you're back to back with your partner. So for instance, these two are partners, they turn their chairs back to back. Not touching, but sitting back to back. Let's give you 1 minute to do that. Find a partner and turn your chairs back to back. If you can from another group, yeah. Let's see if we can get that done in 1 minute here. Just move the chairs around so you're back to back. watch 90% of our body language, and what they remember is 90% of the body language. They don't remember much more than 10% of what we say. They remember 90% of our body language. So we're going to do an experiment now, working with words first, and then working with body language to see what kinds of effects this produces. Okay? So now the first thing you're going to do, we're going to take 1 minute, and you're going to start a conversation with your partner that you are back to back with. You may not look at that person. You may not touch that person, but you must converse with them for 1 minute. Go. talk different from the last part?
It hurts.
Okay, for those of you that weren't hitting each other, how it felt strange. Why did it feel strange? Sure, holding your girl's hand, you don't know real good feels really strange. We usually don't communicate that way, right? Anything else? Any other differences between the first part and the second part and the last part? Which way did you understand? Okay, when you could use words, you could pretty much zero in on what you wanted to say, couldn't you? When it was just nonverbal communication, could you really continue the conversation? Not really. And even if you were communicating in some way by looking at each other or touching each other, could you really know for sure what the other person was talking about? No, you couldn't. Okay. A lot of people too notice that when in the first two parts, that they don't experience or they don't recognize a lot of emotion. But in the last part, they either feel embarrassed or silly, and the emotion seems to be the thing that is more apparent than in the first two. Okay, now let's just look at what we just did because it tells us a lot about nonverbal communication. First of all, it tells us that nonverbal communication exists. Is there any way that you can say from that last experiment that nonverbal communication does not exist? Would anyone be able to say that? Even if someone had gone up and left the room, would they still be saying something? Yeah, so there's really no way that you could not have communicated in that last experiment, is there? When I told you to be silent. Okay, so that goes down into the next row where it says you can't not communicate. Even if you're not saying anything, you're constantly giving off messages, aren't you? So that also shows us that. Nonverbal communication transmits feelings. How many were feeling really silly or embarrassed in the last part? Or some other feeling? Were you aware of that feeling in the first part? Was anybody aware of that feeling in the first part? No. But in the last part, it really became evident because you really couldn't say anything and you couldn't express what you wanted to express. People often send double messages. Has anyone ever said to you, I am not angry? Have you ever heard that? Something like that? What am I saying here? I am angry, aren't I? How do you know? The way I said it, the sound of my voice, my body language? Okay. So again, you can see that the nonverbal part, the tone of my voice, the way I'm standing says a lot more than my words, doesn't it? I am not angry. How many believe that? Okay? So, nonverbal communication, we often send double messages. We might say something, but the way we're acting and sounding means something totally different. Nonverbal communication is ambiguous. Does anyone know what I mean by ambiguous? It's a big word. Yeah. Not clear. Not clear exactly. Probably when you were sitting there in silence, holding someone else's hand or whatever you were
Smile,
doing,
Miss Friend.
it really wasn't very clear what those nonverbal messages meant. So the other thing that we need to remember about nonverbal communication is that we need to check it out. We need to always ask the person what it is they're really meaning when they act a certain way or when they do a certain thing. How many have experienced somebody else being silent to you? Either a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a parent not talking to you for a period of time. Okay, good. In your groups, just move into groups of 6 or you know, pair up with another couple or partner pair here, and talk about for a minute what that silence meant, what you thought that silence meant. Move in, so you're at least with 4 people or 6 people. What did silence mean? When you experienced someone being silent, what did it mean?
that you want to talk about later. And they get really mad if you do something. Parents are really like,
What did it mean when you experienced someone being silent?
frustrated. And I were talking for like 2 months. Really extreme. Years and years. And it was because we had fought, and because there was nothing else we could resolve fighting, so we just stopped talking at all. And then eventually it wore off. We were fighting that, so it just meant that we had tried verbally communicating, couldn't get anywhere with it.
Sometimes my mom doesn't talk because she's afraid that if she does talk, she's going to say something she's going to regret.
Yeah.
So then
Some people, they're called bag, they bag all their emotions, they don't say anything until they explode. It's also like a way to get your point across too. It's really nice to talk to them.
trust me, don't talk to me.
Or something to make you feel guilty too. Yeah, parents do that.
Checklist of nonverbal behavior. And I'd like you to do what the directions say, real quickly, because we don't have enough time. You don't have enough?
What are we supposed to do this?
Maybe you should put your marks on this side. If it's halfway, just pick one or the other. Pick one or the other.
A lot of these guy them.
Yeah.
I know. Until he depends what you're talking about. Sometimes when you smile at people, you don't mean it positively at all. He's like, yeah. And sometimes it's nice to remain silent. That's not always negative. Like if the person needs you to be quiet. Sometimes touching is like sometimes it might, yeah. You can sigh in a very cute language too. You know what I mean? Yeah, but when there's a speaker, you normally don't. I'm thinking of it at that level from listening to somebody. Squinting your eyes. Rotating your head, listening to around. Yes. I don't know about number 19. Who does that? Someone do that. Then you can touch your like falling asleep. Oh, I guess. It's kind of uncomfortable. I know, my head didn't even touch my head. It's so funny. Let's put going back in your mouth. I think that's negative.
Yeah, that's what she, yeah, like, she did it for me.
It's not your corners in your mouth. It's like being bored.
I think we only have 3 minutes. I'm sorry to rush you on this, but let me tell you which ones this source of this inventory considered to be negative so that you know. You can maybe circle the numbers. Number 1, number 6, they consider these to be negative. If you want someone to, if you're a speaker, you shouldn't be doing these things. Number 7, number 8, number 11, number 12, number 14, 15,
Sorry.
18, 21, 22, 24, 26, 28, 29, 31 through 36 are all negative. 31 through 36. Now, someone in the back group had a good point, and that is that in some situations, some of these would be negative, but in other situations they wouldn't be, and that's exactly right. Sometimes nonverbal behavior might be negative in one situation, but not in another. Okay, just to kind of get your thoughts together about this particular hour that you just spent, I'm going to give you a piece of paper. I'd like you to put down something that we did that was helpful and something that was not helpful, or any other comments you have. And as you leave when the bell rings, I'm going to ask you to please put this piece of paper up on the table here as you go out. You may keep all the inventories of papers.
Well, I missed them too. You can copy off mine, but
Jen, put up the papers for me again. The new ones you got.
here, just take this.
This is hard focusing on me. Thanks.
What's wrong with looking at the listener sideways?
The guy is not here. He's not paying attention. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Say you're talking to me, and I'm like this. I'm looking past you.
Cameraman.
What? We're just gonna stay in here tonight. It's already over.
What are we doing for whatever's going on now? Oh yeah, I had to run back and forth between the auditorium and upstairs because we were upstairs.
Yeah.
So I got as much as I could of both places. So you're getting. Do you want me to set the tripod up for the assembly? By two.
Is your glass broke? Your tripper on your glass might be broke.
Yeah, you're right, it is.
Y'all do the closing assembly.
Dave,
Yes.
hospitality, say hi.
Hi. Hospitality, having a nice day.
Marco, he's in charge of it all.
This is Human Relations Day. He wouldn't flip. He meant
We are
flip the
the-
he meant flip the camera around. You know, he doesn't want all the credit. He wants all of his friends to have credit for this. You know, Human Relations, Marco.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did the student choose? I don't know.
It's Frank's office. She's not here.
Like that camera, huh?
Another one of our wonderful office personnel who help us with everything.
Would you tell him that
Mr. Horn, who lent me a video camera.
we are going to
Another human relations supporter.
Yes, here I am.
Another human relations supporter, Carrie Davis.
Hey, Chris. Hi. What are you doing?
Taking candid shots of all the people who support human relations.
I am. Why are you doing that?
I'm supposed to.
Maybe you'll talk a little nicer if you don't.
Say hi for human relations.
Hi, Diane. Human Relations.
Alrighty, you're all set. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
One of my people. Whoops. Broom.
Scrounge.
Scrounge. Mr. Rill. Wearing a smiley face sticker.
No, I was just looking forward to see if he had any handouts there.
And here's Glenda. Glenda, sorry. Glenda. Registration master. Marco, who do we have?
Yeah, go ahead, Marco. Take we have Grace Byler from the Lancaster Mediation Center,
Hello.
presented for session 3, and also Reverend Keith Walker
How you doing?
Hi.
of the Lancaster Bible College, I believe.
There you go, Wes.
The Family and Youth
Director.
Director.
Director of Family. Yeah. Big title because little job.
Aw.
Fun. So how's your day been?
Busy.
Yeah. Getting tired of walking around with a camera in your...
No, I kind of like it. Get to meet all
Good
kinds of
answer. Good answer.
Isn't that very positive, huh? What a positive person. Where's the sticker? What the one?
Oh.
Hey, has anybody placed a sticker on you while the camera was running?
No.
First moment in history right here for a positive response. Up response in the middle of heavy camera carrying. We'll put one right in the lens. No, we shouldn't do that. No, we really shouldn't do that. Here, have a shoulder sticker. You need one on your shoulder because we were concerned about the lack of that.
Here's some more people from my committee chowing down.
And here's the band.
Yeah, I have to go get the band.
How are your cards?
Scrounge.
Fine. Let's take a look and see what we have.
Are they what you thought?
Sure. All right, we'll just
An informal meeting here with our closing speaker.
I have down in my notes just one move.
So you're saying that Frank, mediation is going on right now?
Yeah, do you want to go check that out?
I kind of like to go listen to that since I helped
See
to
how your kids are doing?
see how the mediators are doing. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Walker, I leave you in good hands.
All right, well, thank you. You come again anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Hey! Look, get the cameraman.
Where's Corey?
He's right behind you.
Corey. Where is he? Oh, look at him. What else do we have? Where's Annalise?
Frank's office then, honey.
Hi.
On that desk.
Are you like taping?
I'm taking some candid tunes.
Does anybody know Diane Gillis? Are you gonna?
I know Diana Gillis.
Have I seen her?
No, she was here earlier today.
She's still here somewhere.
Yes? Yeah.
From the way you...
Put your hand down, Jess.
Well, I feel like I know him. That's why that's the thing.
What's everybody doing? Just signing your name?
Yeah.
No one wrote anything special?
No, you don't have to. It's...
Front says it all.
It's front says it all, basically.
What does it say?
It says we could have done it with
There's David right here.
Dave, we need you. Come here. Quick.
Technically, we could have.
Diana, you want some orange juice?
Yeah, I do.
Behind the scenes. She did a lot behind the scenes. Dave, I need you.
Wait, what?
I need you to sign your John Hancock.
What do you mean, my John Hancock?
Let me see those.
Oh yeah, you want
Look
me to
at all
sign
these
my
wonderful
John Hancock?
refreshments thanks to
Just
hospitality.
put it where everyone else is right now. It's a card for Mrs. Frank.
Oh, can I really sign John?
Shh, Gloria, don't tell us what you're doing.
Why?
Is she gonna see that before she gets
No
it?
one spills the beans now, okay? You
Is
hear?
she gonna see the
No,
video?
only me and the camera know.
Know about what?
Can you,
Know about what?
The card.
Hey, who are you looking for?
David!
No, Heidi? Who's this?
My mother and my brother.
Hi, Mom. Hi, brother.
This is Dan. He's going to turn the camera off.
Miss Carrie Davis.
You guys did a great job. I'm going to have to leave. I won't be able to stay for the class.
Marlene, get your...
Because I have a meeting, social workers have a meeting with Dr. Shillis.
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Hey, it's taping. Shut up. I am. Whoa. Dangerous hanging backwards like that.
Are you going crazy with that thing?
No, just taking some candid shots. What? Show me your smiley face sticker so I know that you're supporting human relations.
She's covered with them. See?
Oh man, you must. What have you done that's good today? Why did you get those stickers?
I'm special, Miss Billy. I can't. Now you can see.
Hi, Diana.
What did you get for? What did you do to get your stickers?
I got no stickers because I'm evil.
Jake. What did you do to get your sticker? Oh, you're guidance secretary. It comes automatic.
That's right. She works very hard every day. I'm sorry.
McCaskey. I understand that it's the end of the day, and some of you have had an interesting day, a different kind of day than you usually spend. I hope all of you have been involved in some way with the spirit of the day. I think that
I don't know if I'm now.
someplace special here, and spirit of human relations.
What he stands
what we're all about. It's really what makes us special. show every day. But today, did want to take some time and bring in some people from the community, all of whom really had great things to say about you. Makes me feel real good. I hope it makes you feel good. Very pleased that people did come in and say, hey, this got a great bunch of kids here. I'd like to come back again. And I'd like to do it again. I don't know if we can do it before the end of the year, but I think what we did today in really celebrating who and what we are is important, and we need to do it more often. But what I'm asking of you is to please carry through, despite the fact that it's the end of the day. You've always been very, very courteous to all of our guests, and I ask you to carry that forward. We have one more gentleman who is here to speak to us today. He's been here before. It's Dr. Keith Walker. Excuse me, Reverend Keith Walker. Reverend Walker, like I say, has been here before. He really has devoted much of his life to bettering human relationships. Anytime that he has been here, I think the students who have worked with him have enjoyed him, found what he had to say very, very rewarding. I think you will find that you're going to be able to relate to him, and I'd like now to have him come forward. Reverend Keith Walker.
When I was here last year, they did some kind of a state thing, and you applauded for schools. And I told this, it's important you tell it, because it's probably one of the most memorable human relationships in my life. It was my first date. One of the problems that I face is that some of you sitting here, you're cool. When you sneeze, you never embarrass yourself. You just go, "Phew, I'm all right." You know what I mean? And there are people out here when they sneeze, they go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I get that out of your hair." I was one of those kind of geeky kind of people, and so I had a struggle with being cool. Remember, I think way back. Remember, like when you were like 10 guys and girls were cooties. If they touched you, you threw up, you know, and you had to get washed and all that stuff. And remember how that changed? Remember how that changed? Somewhere between like 10 and 52, they became cuties. You know, instead of you going you went I was there, man. I was like drooling big time. This girl came, stayed at my house for a week, and with my family, and she wanted to become Miss Arizona. First girl I ever dated became Miss Arizona, man. I'll tell you what, gorgeous girl. Anyway, she walks in my house, but I don't know how to talk to women. And this particular point in my life, talking to women was kind of guttural. You know, it's sort of like an animal. She go, "Hi, how are you?" I go, and then by the end of the week, we were talking. We were like, comrades, a punctuation marks. We were walking. I hear this voice. Last night, she's living on 14. She was an older woman. She was 15. Yeah, and we're walking along, and I hear this voice, and it says, "Why don't you hold her hand?" Problem is, how do you do that? You can't go, "Me man, you woman, haha," that's like barbaric, right? You gotta play the game. Remember the game you play? Remember the game? The game is critical. You gotta put your hand out your side and start to swing your hand. Now, and don't do that when you're driving. You look spastic. How do you do that? It's a walking thing, right? I'm walking, and I walk by, and I brush by her hand, and you know, if she leaves her hand there, she's interested, right? She folds her arms, ooh, kind of a chilly night, and if you're out here like this, the date is over. She has left the state, it's over, right? You know? So I brushed by her hand, and she grabbed my hand. She was kind of a fast little woman. And I'll tell you what, I'm holding her hand for 5 minutes, when all of a sudden I realized I had the key to how to make money in the world. I'll tell you what, if one of you, just one of you, would invent a deodorant for the hand, you'd be wealthy. Did you ever hold somebody's hand and a slime-like thing develops in there? You're not going to get smoke. That's extremely important. Fourth thing you need is a stereo or a CD player. Yeah, now a lot of you make this mistake. Not a Walkman. You put one earphone in your ear and one in her ear, and you can hear it stereo. One of you's an airhead, right? Don't even check it out. Get the Walkman thing. And then, most importantly, you need a lava light. That's right, you need a lava light. You say, "What's a lava light?" A lava light's one of these jar-like things that has stuff that no human being knows what's inside it. I think it's hand slime. And you put it in there, and you put a light bulb underneath it, and it heats up, and it goes boom. It drifts to the top. In the 60s, we used to sit around going, "Wow." We'd say it backwards, you know, we'd go, "Wow." And so we it was like a lava light. You need that. You need a lava light. You want to get a lava light. I sat down, there we sat. Put a fire in the fireplace, it was the middle of August. Didn't matter, it was my romantic moment. Put a lot of lights looping, the Letterman or Crudy. I'm old, sorry. And we're on the sofa in the family, everything's good. Except for her little sister sitting there. That's 6 items, you only need 5 for romance, that's too many. I remember I prayed. I didn't even know God then. I prayed, I said, hey God, if you're real, kill that girl. I didn't mind a dead body, I just want her out. Denise handled it. Denise says to her sister, hey Debbie, don't you think it's time for you to go to bed? And Debbie goes, go to bed? It's only 7:30, I don't go to bed. So, Debbie, go to bed. Debbie goes, not till you brush my hair. I said, here, I'll handle it. Wham, wham, wham. The girl left like, they didn't get bald. It wasn't pretty. We are looking. I look at her and I know that we're going to kiss when it occurs to me that our faces are not designed with kissing in mind. Like, what do you do with your nose? It's really important. You go like this. You look so fast, right? I'll tell you what, if you move too quickly and break her nose, it's over, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, blood. Oh, hey. You need like somebody like somebody from an airport, you know, like in a control tower going, yeah, move it to the right, move it to the right, lay on that baby. It's a timing thing altogether. It's really important. Saying like, when do you pucker? When do you pucker? You pucker too soon. Don't you look stupid? Light, huh? I mean, that's weird looking, right? But if you pucker too late and she has braces on, you could be in the hospital. Hey, it's yes, thank you. But maybe the most important thing is when do you close your eyes? If you close your eyes too soon, you miss a girl, you kiss the sofa. Stupid, man. Picking that lint out of your teeth. Alright, but if you close them too late, you got like cross-eyed about 4 lips. Yeah, I'll get one of them there, yeah. Well, we kissed, we were in love. I mean, she sucked my face, it must mean something good here, and so everything was working out. She left, went back to Arizona. Well, on her way, she went to Coatesville, Pennsylvania, which is where my cousin lives. And so I got home from work. About 5 o'clock, 5:30 on Saturday night, I said to my dad, hey Dad, let's go to Coatesville and see my cousin. My dad goes, no way, we're driving an hour to Coatesville tonight. We got dinner, and by the time we have dinner, get there at 7:30. No way. My mom said, she's so cool. Hey, George, take him. He's in love, George. He's in love. My dad called Kitty, woman. He jumped in the car. My mom and I, we drove to Coatesville. I think she's going to see me. I'm going to see her. We're going to do one of those Daisy Field moments. You know what I mean? Like. It doesn't work that way, though. She's standing there when I get there. She's in the Sterling High School football field in Coatesville. She's there with 2 guys. Okay, it's okay. She's like a nice person. She's on Human Relations Day, maybe trying to console them. Maybe they've lost a loved one, a gerbil's died or something like that. She's trying to be nice. But see, she's holding one of their hands, smiling away. I had my own problems at that particular point. Number 1, I was at my coordination, I had none. At 14, I still don't have much, but at 14 I had none. And so chewing gum and walking was like a dangerous thing, right? So I had to walk across this field without falling down, which was pretty exciting, while I hold my stomach in, because that's what everybody can see. It was the largest part of my body. And on top of that, and probably the most important thing, is that I didn't know what octave my voice was going to come in, right? Now, so I'm swallowing, trying to get my voice down, holding my stomach in, walking across the field, wondering, because I don't want to go, hi, you know, in that moment when you're like in the middle of that? So I walk across and I walk up to her and I go, how are you? She goes, fine, Keith, come on guys, let's go. And she walked. Yeah, I crawled across the field, climbed into my car. My dad was just getting in the car. And I said, she's getting to my cousin's house, and I run out of the window. I said, hey, Dad, let's go home. Go home. We just drove an hour. My mom goes, take him home, George. He's heartbroken. We got in the car, told him I never dated another woman. It was scared of him because the option was. But anyway, it all worked out. One of the things I remember in a moment, we had human relations that day. Now, she had one agenda, and I had another agenda. My agenda was, I'm in love. I'll go anywhere, be with her. Her agenda was, and that was basically it. And we met for a few minutes, but the reality was, we have these 2 agendas, and they don't always work on the same page. Because our human relations are based on 2 things. 1 is, what are our values? Where do we get our values from? And 2, how do we share those values? That's the way it all works. That's what this whole day has been about. There are 2 types of values that we sit with in this room. There are what I call DCVs, and then there are ECVs. DCVs are dangerous cultural values, and we got them all over the place. Here's a cultural value that's dangerous. I'll take care of me. I am number 1. That's all I care about. Well, guess what? How you share will be directly related to that. That's what makes us users.
That's what puts us in a position where we hurt each other, is when we get that mentality that works that way. And on top of that, we then seek all we can to take care of ourselves. I was in 8th grade. It's one of the problems our culture has is in dangerous cultural values, we have rights. According to the Declaration of Independence, we have inalienable rights. We sue everybody for everything. We are all pitting each other against each other. And we wouldn't have any problem, by the way, taking care of number one if there were no other people in this room. If you're the only person, big what? But what the reality is, you got a whole lot of other people happening in your life. And so somewhere in the reality, you have to mesh in your rights with their rights. I walk by your lawn. You have this beautiful manicured lawn. It says, you touching my lawn, on a sign, I break in your face. I'm a grass lover from way back, not the kind you smoke, the kind you walk on. So I take off my shoes, my socks. I have my rights, I'm an American. I ooze my toes to your lawn. You see me, you get a little bit ticked off about that, so you open up your garage door, and 2 Doberman Pinschers come running out after me. You're guard dogs, no problem. I'm a lawn lover from way back. I have my poison Gainsburgers. I give it to your dog. Now you're really ticked because your dogs are kind of making indentations on your front yard. You get out your gun, I get out my Uzi, and before you know it, we have human relations. And we do. We're having human relations. But we're colliding because whenever you have dangerous cultural values, we are the center, and taking care of us is what it's all about. And we run after 3 things. 1, pleasure. 2, popularity. And 3, power. None of which will ultimately satisfy. See, pleasure only lasts for a little bit of time. Pleasure lasts about 7 hours. If it did, I mean, you'd have all your experiences. You'd eat, and that'd be it. Never have to eat again. Yeah, that was good. You'd have 1 sexual experience, and that'd be it. They don't need any more. That was a wild time. That's life. And on it would go if it satisfies, but they don't. Then popularity is what we sell so much for, to be in with the in crowd, with the right people. And the reality is that doesn't last. I was playing soccer in high school with one of our guys, my best friend, who was an excellent soccer player in his junior year. He went to kick a ball as he was a sweeper. As he went to nail the ball, a guy hit him in his thigh. And as he did, his foot was supposed to stop straight, kept right on coming around as it blew out his knee, blew out his ligaments, his kneecap. I've never seen anything like it. When he hit the ground, his leg was flopping in every direction. It had virtually no control. I ran over to him. I grabbed my best friend's hand. He reached up and he was holding on my hand like he was going to rip my fingers off. And he says to me these words, "It's over, isn't it?" You know what he meant? He meant that my reign is popular guy because I'm a jock. I didn't happen to be a jockette. His reign is popular because he's a jock. It's done because his knee is shredded. And whatever makes you popular doesn't last much more than 7 years. And power is the ability to control people, whether it's economic, political, or physical power, but there's always somebody a little bit more powerful than you. I was in 8th grade, and I was the only guy in my class that had a job. I was sitting in the lunchroom one day, and there's one of those caterpillars, you know, the green caterpillars you step on, they squirt from here to the back of the room, you know? I had one of those sitting on the windowsill. I leaned over, now this is 8th grade, but I leaned over and I grabbed the caterpillar, I put it in the middle of the lunch table, and I say, $1 to the man who eats the caterpillar. A bunch of guys went, oh, that's sick. One guy goes, hey, his girlfriend said, you touched the caterpillar, that's your history. But there's one guy, man, he looked at the caterpillar, the $1 in the caterpillar, and the $1 in the caterpillar, finally took the $1 and he put in his shirt. Took the caterpillar, opened up his liver worse than onion sandwich. Now my theory is if you're going to eat liver worse than onion, throw in a caterpillar, you can't hurt it, right? He puts it in there and he eats it. I made a kid eat a caterpillar. I was so hot on campus, man. I mean, some kid ate a rat a week later, it wasn't too cool. But I remember at that moment, I made a human being eat a caterpillar because I had something they want. The reality is, we practice human relationships on everything I just told you about. But they're based off of values that are dangerous. Dangerous cultural values are those which find me as the center and taking care of me and my rights, because you begin to become a user. You begin to become an abuser. That's the only 2 ways to go with that. There's another way to go, and that's essential cultural values. Essential cultural values are the values in our society which are absolutely essential for every culture of all time to exist. The decline of every culture is because of the running towards a dangerous cultural value. The increase of any culture, the development of any culture, is running towards the essential cultural values. There are 3 parts to essential cultural values. 1 is you have truth. Absolute, somewhere, something you lock onto. My truth is obvious. You see the name Reverend on front. I work at Lancaster Bible College. You get off idea where my central truth is. Somewhere you start with that. And that central truth carries you to the next step while you're here. What your purpose is. You see, as you walk through this day today, you had a purpose. Everybody had a purpose in this day. Whether it was to get a warm and fuzzy sticker, whoa, or whether it was to make sure, no way, nobody touched me, one of them smiley faces to work people. Make sure that whatever your purpose was, that I want to be left alone, I want to be hot, I want to be cool, I want to do this, I want to hit on that person, I want to be nice to this person, I want to get my homework done, I don't want my father to beat me, I want whatever it is, we have a purpose that runs the day. And as that purpose runs, it's why I'm here. Now what you believe is what's going to carry that moment. And if your belief is based on something that makes a difference, then what ultimately happens is your values become otherly in their base. Because of my relationship with a being that I know loves me, I'm free to love you. It frees me up. I don't have to worry about whether you like me or not. I had a junior hire. I was speaking to about 500 junior hires at a conference, and this kid walks up to me and goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes, my son, what is it?" He goes, "There's this reason why you sweat so much because you're so fat." Yeah, he passed away that weekend. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, man. Went right for the juggler, went right to the truth there. You know what's really interesting? It doesn't matter whether or not you think it's okay that you like me. It doesn't really matter because I've discovered there's someone else who does. That reality of that relationship with an absolute truth, developing into a purpose for existence, takes you right into this, an otherliness that causes you to become concerned about others. If you don't, here's what happens. You see somebody drop their books in the hallway and you kick them down the hallway. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah, then you kick them down the hallway, and pretty soon, before you know it, they're going to kick back. If your values are based on the care of yourself, then the value that you'll demonstrate will be that when you see people, you'll judge them. You already make your opinion about everybody. You know who the good people are in your class. You know who the people you don't want to sit next to. You want to know the people you want to avoid. All those things you already see and flesh out in our lives. And a cultural clash that you and I are in, we have to deal with this. If we are not otherly in our bent, there's a good possibility we are in the middle of a dangerous cultural value system which will ultimately rot. Not just America and not just Lancaster, but ultimately McCaskey. Now I'll tell you what, your perception in this community is very, very high. The leadership of this kind of day, from a perspective of community, raises people's perception of what you are. Whether you know it or not, this school has led the way in this community for decades and continues to do that. That's a powerful thing when I speak to all the other schools around here and watch the effect of the McCaskey movement. But the reality is this, the fast way to rot it is you don't give a rip. You'll take care of you. And when you don't give a rip and you just want to take care of you, you are in a dangerous mood. Those that work with that get threatened very easily. You can't take a photo. I love people who can't take a photo. Yo, hey. Don't give me one of them little smiley things I'll smack your face here, man. I'm cool. You know what's interesting? People that are otherly, hey, if you want to stick a sticker on me, have your day. It's okay. Just relax, okay? Mellow out. One of the realities in your day-to-day is that all through the day, the one thing we've talked about is the fact that we take school with other people. We live life with other people. And in the middle of this day, your family had one kind of day, your brothers and sisters had one kind of experience, you're going to go back into a whole variety of different experiences, and everybody is having human relations. The issue is, do you have anything with substance? Let me give you what we could, the 7 things that the values of us were evaluated under today. I'll just give you the main words. They're as follows. I don't want to read you something. Courage, discipline, endurance, faith, integrity, steadiness, demonstration of a golden rule. What that basically means is demonstration of a care for others as you would want to be cared for. All right? Those 7 things were the evaluation. Let me read you a couple of things that happened on this campus throughout this day. Under courage, even after facing difficulty with family members, a pregnancy, disruption in their day-to-day living, this student displays courage to continue education and hold up the responsibility to school, her baby, and her friends. That's courage. And the reality is that there isn't a lot of that around. And whenever it flies, guess what? Everybody else gets influenced by that. Whenever we say, I give up, I can't handle it, I'm running, I'm committing suicide, I'm going to get out of here, the reality is we've jumped into a dangerous cultural value and we will never become part of that which makes a difference to other people. You say, why does I care about making a difference to other people? Because the reality is when you get a right value system in your life, other people become absolutely essential for anything you do, for any reason why you're here. There's another value. Under courage. Listen to this. I'm impressed with this. Came to school for the first time in 3.5 weeks. It's a lot easier to stay home. Especially then. I don't know whether that's for illness or what. That's courage. Let me give you another category. Under a category of discipline. Student patiently waiting past an appointed time and with respect and tolerance, understanding my lateness. Apparently a faculty member said, I was late today. The students stood there and waited. Why? Because they were disciplined. I'm not a very disciplined person. I walk by a bag of Doritos and they talk to me. You know what I mean? Hey, come here. Here, drop your face in the sun. I have a lot of trouble. I would love to be disciplined. disciplined individuals are people that demonstrate character that says, I'll make sure I get this done. Let me give you one on the area of endurance. This is a fascinating story. A non-English speaking student entered a class a couple weeks ago. During that time period, the McCaskey students befriended that student, worked through the language barriers. They in turn learned some of that language and in turn helped that student to understand, all because through the endurance. You don't learn a language overnight, it takes you forever. It took me 42 years to learn language I still don't understand. And beyond, the bottom line is that endurance is what pushes you beyond. What kind of characteristics do you have today? Another one. Take faith. Students find themselves without a sticker. This is really interesting. Another student comments that the stickers are not external but found within. It's a powerful statement. I want to know what you are, not what you look like. I want to know who you are as you base it on what your beliefs are. If you and I can run with our beliefs and say, I know what I believe, and that belief is going to make a difference in how I relate to each other, then you're going to find that your relationships with other human beings are incredibly different. Another one on faith. Two students were feeling down and in the throes of really being out. They were depressed. Another student affirmed their worthiness as human beings. And then interestingly enough, whoever wrote this says, hey, love triumphs over hate. Hate is easy. Love, not love like, hey, hey, hey. Love like you value the person is a bizarre concept that most cultures don't know how to relate to, don't know how to understand. But without it, it destroys the culture. Let me give you another one. Under dependability, integrity. A student who had been absent for an extended period of time asked for their homework. It was a female. Got the worksheets and the magazine and returned everything by 8 a.m. All right, I still owe homework. I'm impressed with people that have that kind of integrity. A whole class, homeroom, 027. It's a group that apparently has a good time together, showed great respect for Reverend Butcher this morning. Each and every one of them. And whoever your teacher was said, that is a valuable commodity that I really appreciate. That's integrity. That's what it is to sit in here saying, I don't want to be here listening to some fat geek talk. I want to go home. And the reality is you show integrity. That's what it's about when it comes to relationships with other people. Give me another one. Steadiness. Student patiently and thoughtfully led two apprehensive ninth graders through McCaskey. Remember what it's like when you're ninth grade? You're coming into the big school. Somebody walked them through. Dependability. A student who was on their own did exceptionally well in the work they were given to do on their honor and accomplish it. Let me give you one more. There's a student here who constantly offers to collect papers, always volunteers, comments, helps, and is interested in class. Now you know what you call those kind of people? Yeah. But guess what? You know what? That person looks at a faculty member and says, not what can I do to them, what can I do for them? It's not what can I get away from them, but how do I care? Now I know what you think of that sometimes. And I know what the image is like. But you know what? There are values that run deep. Here's the issue. You're walking down the hallway in school and somebody says to you something that really makes you ready to explode. If you jump back in their face, I'll tell you what your values are. They are dangerous cultural values of which you are the center and they just cross the line into your world. And if your values are different, when it's essential, we have the characteristics that we just walked through, then the reality is this. Your reaction is 100% different. Do you like somebody to rip on your face? Do you like somebody to really rag on you? No. Does it mean you just stand there and let them beat you up? No. But the bottom line is this. That in the process of where you are as students, you become aware that there are other people that are extremely valuable and you invest in them. A young lady walked up to me and she said, my mother doesn't love me. I've heard that thousands of times. And I said to her, well, that's nice. Your mother doesn't love you. Tell me what you mean. She says this. Hi. Everybody say hi. Everybody say it's cool. That's right. My mom, she said, my mom doesn't love me. I said, how come? She said, because my mother will never hug me. That's not unusual for teenagers. She said, my mother will never hug me. And I said, okay. Do you love your mother? Yeah, I love my mother. Well, does she know you love her? I don't know. But she won't hug me. So I go to her mother and I say, hey, do you love your daughter? You know what the mother says? Yeah, I love my daughter. I said, well, does she love you? She goes, no. I said, why not? She never cleans her room. Oh, there's a good base of relationship, huh? So I go to the girl and I say, hey, do you clean your room? No, I hate cleaning my room. My mother makes me do that. I don't like to do that kind of stuff. And somewhere in the middle of it all, she says, this is nuts. This isn't what it's all about. You know what they were both doing? The mother's saying, hey mom, I love you. The girl is saying, hey, the mother's saying, hey daughter, I love you, but they're speaking the wrong languages. There are 5 languages that you build a relationship off of. Every one of these languages are the languages of love. I stole this from Dr. Gary Chapman, and they work this way. Language number 1. If you have this language, here's the way you share it. You communicate, you talk. You girls are dating a guy who doesn't have the language of communication. He says this, I love you. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. Yeah, that's it. He doesn't talk. He's done. Hey, 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 hey. That's it. That's about the whole communication. They can do everything in a kind of a guttural animal sound. Communicators are people who talk. If you want to say I love you, you talk. Well, if you got a parent who's been saying I love you but doesn't show it in your language, you don't read that. And if you've been saying to somebody I love you, but they don't have that language, we miss. There's another language of love that we have in this room. And that's the language of love where you try to spend time with people. They're just those kind of, you ever those kind of people that you walk down the hallway and wherever you are, they're there. You know, pardon me. Oh, it's okay. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. Their time spent. They just want to be with you. You that have parents like this, your father will sit and read the paper half the night. Just sit there, read the paper, play with the remote control TV turner. Your mother will be sitting there for 45 minutes, finally get up to leave the room. Your father will go, where are you going? I'm going in here to do something. Well, I'm going to stay here. Why? We're not doing anything. Well, it's okay, just be here. That's time spent. You just want to be with people. We have the third language, that's gifts. Premeditated acts of thoughtfulness. When somebody says, here's a gift I want to give you, and that has to be even bought. It has to be thought in terms of you. That's what you respond to. That's my wife's language, by the way. If I want to come home and love my woman, my wife, I say, hey, honey, I got this special dinner for 2 and a weekend away, and I'm good for like 3 weeks, man. This woman chased me around forever. Because the reality is I hit her language of love. There's a fourth language of love. Language of love, where somehow you and I get involved in not just spending time with the person, but doing things for that person. You that have that kind of thing, you're always helping people. Hey, you see somebody needs something, you pick it up. You're always doing that. It's acts of service. How you are loved and how you respond to love depends on that language. The final one, and all the guys are going to think, well, this is money, man, is touch. Yeah, if I want to be loved, I'm going to touch. Yeah, that's what it is, man. I'm touching. My girl says, yeah, that must be my boyfriend. I have been chasing that boy around the backseat of a Chevy forever here. And the reality is this, that touch is different than sexuality. Sexuality is shared a whole different way. And sexuality, by the way, is different than sensuality. Sensuality is the pleasing of yourself. Sexuality is the pleasing of another individual. It's a whole different game. And one of the realities is this, that in the process of this touch thing, we are afraid to get near each other. We have 18 inches nobody comes into. You ever watch many people shake hands? It's always like this. Hi, how are you? It's never like this. Hi, why? Because that's my 18 inches. You don't come in here. You ever watch people in elevators? They don't like to be touched. That's why they're so paranoid. They get in an elevator, they turn in, they turn around, look at the lights, and push the buttons. And then they stare. Why? Because we're all in each other's body space. You want to have fun in an elevator sometime? Talk to people. No, just go, hey, hi, how are you? Yo. You want to have a lot of fun? Get in an elevator in a tall building. Get on the 45th floor. As people are getting in the elevator, you start talking and push the, let's say, the 14th and 15th and 14th buttons. As people get in the elevator, start talking like a psychotic killer. But just get in and go, I'm okay. The chainsaw, I'm fine, I'm really fine, I'm alright. I'm just going, do that for, that's human relationships, by the way. You do that for about 25 floors. When you hit the 15th floor, people are all standing against the walls, paranoid, staring at the lights. You get off the elevators, the doors open up. So the doors close behind you, you run down to the 14th floor, run down the stairs, you're standing at this door, and when it opens up, you stand there and say, I heard what you said, and get back on the elevator. They'll never ride again. They will walk up and down the elevator. The bottom line here is this. What you did today is based on what kind of values you walked into this day with. What you have done in this short 8-hour experience depend on what you entered the room with. Now here's the question. Are you living off of dangerous cultural values which destroy society? If so, you'll be the center of the universe and you'll demand your rights. Or you'll live off of essential values, the things that we just talked through, that sound like this. I'll read them again. Courage, discipline, endurance, faith, integrity, steadiness, and demonstration of golden rule. You start living there, you start playing in those realms, here's what happens. Nobody slips by. A man was invited to a swimming party as an adult. I hate pool parties as an adult because you never swim. You just stand outside and sweat looking at the nice cool water.
He's invited this pool party, and he's sitting at this table. They're having barbecue spare ribs. He's in his white dinner jacket, trying desperately not to get his outfit all messed up. As he's eating barbecue spare ribs, a little girl, she's about 3 years of age, walks up. She is covered with barbecue sauce from head to toe. She grabs his sleeve, she tugs on it. He looks over at her, he looks at his sleeve, and then she gives the universal signal of children. She puts her hands up in the air to be held. He looks at her, looks at the barbecue sauce on his fingers, looks at his clean jacket, and looks at her again, and he says, "Honey, I'm sorry, I'm too busy eating, not right now." The little girl smiled never dim. She put her arms down, let the next person tug on their sleeve, did the same thing. 10 minutes later, they're all still eating. Somebody went running by, dove in the middle of the pool, no class whatsoever, dove in the pool and pulled out the body of a 3-year-old little girl. They tried to revive her. They could not. She was dead. As the ambulance left with her dead body, the story began to circulate. The family in which the party was taking place, their marriage was falling apart. They were in the middle of a divorce. That 3-year-old girl was desperately hungry for somebody to love her. About a month before, they had another party. She had accidentally slipped and fell into the pool, and they pulled her out and rescued her for the course and made her the center of attention for the rest of the evening. This night, apparently, she went to person after person after person, lifted up her arms, but they were all so busy eating that nobody noticed her slip into the pool. Here's the reality, students. You can be that kind of person so busy taking care of yourself that you'll miss the person who walks by and says, "Would you, just for a second, hold me?" Or you'll be a person who doesn't care what the mess is and said, "You're right. It's your choice. It's what makes a difference." Thank you very much.
With this puzzle piece, in appreciation of people.
Before we go, thank you. I appreciate it. We're always really very gracious, courteous, and I appreciate it. And I know Reverend Walker does. One last thing though before we go back. There are a lot of students who were involved in preparing the building, doing a lot of work, hours and hours of work. And I know they're not all up front to be recognized, but I'd like to give you their names, and when you see them, why don't you tell them thank you. Beginning with Heidi on stage. The overall chairman, by the way. And we couldn't get him on stage today, but the guy who really has done a lot of work in pulling this together, Marco Ortiz. Christina Monroy, Brian Althouse, David Green, Jessica Kilgore, Annalise Lopez, Diana Standingwolf,